Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat shelling Dante the dark child. Drop the stats on him. Drop the facts on him. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the DarkKnight here with my co-host Pat Sandlin. And we are here for our weekly show Upon Further Review, where we recap the Eagles' last game, which was a victory on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs, a rematch of Super Bowl, 59? Rematch of Super Bowl 59, and our Philadelphia Eagles came out victorious 20-17. I'm happy about it. I've been hearing, sports talk radio, and some people are not. Some people are worried about the offense, and I'm kind of in the middle. Don't get me wrong. I'm concerned about the offense, and we'll get into it as we go on, and I'll let you know what else I may be concerned about. But I'm happy for the W. I am, because we're not playing our best ball, and this is, to me, like I always explained, in September is extended preseason, extended training camp, where we're still working out some bugs in our game, as we have done in the past few years, most notably last year when we didn't catch our stride until October. So I see the same thing developing, and hopefully in October we'll catch our stride again. But in the meantime, we like to win while we're trying to catch our flow, so to speak. As we're trying to catch our flow, you still want to win games. Last year we were 2-2 as we were getting our feet under us, and nobody liked 2-2. Everybody wanted Nick Sirianni out of the building at 2-2 while we were developing and getting in stride, right? Well, this year we're still getting in stride, but we're undefeated. We're 2-0, 2-0, and people are they're up in arms, but we'll talk about that. So without further ado, you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that is by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So some people out there are going to need a shot or two so they can calm down,
or three.
Or three to calm down a little bit. Why are we panicking? We're 2-0. There's people out here, I'm hearing them talk on sports talk radio, and they are panicking. And we're 2-0. I can't believe it. We're 2-0. So anyway, what are you drinking? The Woodford Reserve? Let me grab my drink.
Of course. They always want to know what I'm drinking. What I'm bringing to the club. It's the Woodford Reserve.
All right, so I got my energy drink, Celsius. Pat's doing the Woodford Reserve. Let me know what you guys are drinking out there, and let us do this first shot so we can talk about it. This is couch time for some people. We need to put them on the couch so they can get it all out the system. All right, so down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the You're now listening to the
All right, so as I said in the opening,
water. You doing some cut water. Cut water gonna be doing you. No, I'm joking.
We are. There are some people that are very, very concerned, and I'm not saying that the need for concern is not there. There is a need for concern. This offense is not where we like to see it at this point. So I'm not being blind. I'm kind of in the middle. There are some out there that are just blind to the fact that this offense needs to be better, right? Well, no, there's not actually nobody blind to that fact. Everybody knows that the offense has to be better. All right, I guess that there are some people that are blind to the fact that Jalen needs to play a little bit better, or most directly, maybe take more risk in his passing attempts or whatever. I don't know if I'm on that side totally. And then there's some people that say, no, he needs to just take care of the ball, don't take any chances, continue to win games. I'm not, I'm definitely leaning towards that, but I'm somewhere in the middle. We'll talk about it. I'm somewhere in the middle. We know what comes with gunslingers, right? The best gunslinger I've ever seen is Brett Favre. Gunslinger, a lot of reward, but a high risk. He also was a league leader in interceptions a lot of times, and he only won one Super Bowl doing that. Now, Jalen's already got a Super Bowl under his belt, and he's gotten it by being more conservative, not putting the ball in harm's way, because we've seen him sling the ball, and we've seen the turnovers that come with that slinging of the ball. So I'm not totally, for him just throwing just to be throwing. I'm not for that. I'm not for him to throw just to be throwing. But there's something that has to take place with this offense because we are too talented of a group to be putting up the numbers we're putting up. We're putting up paltry numbers. And I know winning is what it's all about, and I preach that, and I'm happy with the win. But going forward, I think that we might need to ramp up the offense to some of these games. I don't know if we are built to win in this fashion for the next 18, 19 weeks. So you let me know, Pat. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna give you one example. Russell Wilson for the New York Ants threw for 450 yards. You know what happened after that? His team lost. He threw a game costly interception. His team lost. They lost to the Dallas Cowboys. So I mean, I get the gunslinger. I know what people want. Jalen Hurts to put up all these numbers. He had 101 yards passing. He had 0 turnovers. I mean, yes, we scored 20 points. We could have scored way more points than that. Is it a product of Jalen Hurts playing quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, or is it the offensive coordinator making certain play calls and it's not gelling yet with this team? You got to realize none of these starters played in the preseason. So these first 4 games is like the preseason for everybody getting their rhythm, to get the sea legs under them, to get prepared to move forward. Shoot, we didn't have Dallas Goedert out there this week. He's one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL.
Talk about it.
He helps this run game out by being out there. Saquon had 88 yards rushing. That's nothing to cry about. He did his thing against a very stout and Spags led defense. He did what he was supposed to do. And let's be honest, right now, our defense is way ahead of our offense. Our defense is way ahead of our offense. We're missing one key component of it, but even with that one key component not being there at that other cornerback spot, opposite Quinyon, listen, our defense is on point right now. It's just the offense needs to be more efficient. I know they're saying they want to see Jalen throw for 250, 300 yards every game, but you know what? DarkKnight said it when we first opened up. He said 2-0. I know he meant 2-0, but with 2-0, 2 in love. Come on, you can't ask for anything more at that right now. Yes, there's a lot of tweaks we have to curtain moving forward. We have to get better. We're about to play a team whose defensive front is the best part of their defense, right? Best part of the team. So we have to be better. But right now, for what we have right now, we're 2-0. This team is moving in the right direction, and I believe it's nothing that we all we can do is go up from here.
Yeah, 2-0 is 2-0. It was still an impressive win over a playoff, team of last year. Shoot, forget a playoff team. The Super Bowl, the Super Bowl contending Kansas City Chiefs. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Yep. So this was not anything to sneeze at, although I do not consider them as the juggernaut that they once were about 5 years ago, but they're still a formidable team, and we got to win a quality win over a good team. All right, that being said, do I have concerns about the offense moving forward? Yeah, I do. I can't say that I don't. Am I unhappy with the way we won? No, I'll never be unhappy with the W. I'll never be unhappy with the W. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I can't get on that boat, but I'll never be unhappy with the W. But I do think that there's something that needs to be tweaked, and you just spoke to it, the fact that these players are still getting their legs up under them from not playing all preseason, and coupled with the fact that this is a new OC. We seem to have one every year for the past 4 years, and that involves some adjustments. That involves the play caller getting adjusted to the talent and the personnel he has. In this case, that also calls for him to find his groove as a play caller. This is his first time calling plays for a professional NFL team. I don't even know if he's done it on a lower level. So that makes it even more daunting that your first time at calling plays is for the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Not an easy task, right?
No, it's definitely not easy.
Not an easy task. And we can see it with the plays that are being called. We can tell that he's not found his flow yet. He's not found his groove yet. The type of plays I think are, they're elementary, so to speak. I don't
It's
think
it's dry. What's those rice no, not the rice, the rice cakes. That's what it is. No
it's
seasoning.
bland. It's
bland.
bland. It's soul food with no seasoning. That's what it is. That's what I always go back to.
Like for a guy to be a passing game coordinator, because he was the passing game coordinator for the past 4 years since Sirianni got here, and for us not to be passing ball, that speaks volumes. But again, DarkKnight, I mean, these guys are getting back in football shape. I'll be honest with you. Say the AJ looks like he's still a little bit tender, a little hurt. He's not running full speed. I mean, it could be that he's frustrated here and there. He's not breaking any tackles or making any moves that he normally would make. Even Dante, when you went up and made that attempt to catch the ball on the left sideline and fell and messed his back up, the ball hit him right in the hands. Let's be honest. But I do agree with you, DarkKnight. These elementary plays, you can't. Your first play of the game cannot be a scheme pass to John Mechie. When you got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and even Jahan Dotson, like it can't be a design play to John. You're not going to catch somebody off with that. I hope this is just these first couple games is just something to get the team into shape. And our talent is shown. It's shown that we are better than the teams that we're facing, because regardless of how poorly you're playing on offense or how the defense plays in the first half, the team turns it around in the second half, and you can't do a thing against them. A thing.
And well, that is okay, because that's plays to the strongest part of our team right now, and was the strongest part of our team even last year, and that is the defense. The defense is way ahead of schedule, even surprising to me, because I never had a worry about the defense, or my concern wasn't really the defense outside of how fast would they gel, because I know there's a lot of young guys that they were working in to this defense this year. So I was a little concerned about that. But they have, they're ahead of schedule to me. They're ahead of schedule, and they are the strongest aspect of this team. Thank God for them. Thank God. I mean, really, we need to praise God Almighty, because our defense is formidable. Because without them, we would be in trouble. Without them mustering less than 250 yards of total offense would not win us a game against the likes of a Kansas City Chiefs, and maybe not even the likes of a Dallas Cowboys, if it were not for this defense holding those teams to paltry numbers themselves. So this is where it really, this is where I'm concerned about the offense. And if you recall, in the preseason, in the offseason, that's all I talked about was my concern over this new offensive coordinator and whether he can call plays, because we have seen it. We have seen it under Sirianni's regime or tenure here, that when the play calling is not what it needs to be, our offense suffers mightily, even with the elite talent that we have. And that is what's the shocking part of it, because we have elite talent. And this would be a different conversation if we had average players in some of these positions on offense. You know what I mean? Like if we had some of the offenses that other teams are fielding right now, we would be like, all right, well, it is what it is. But we do not. We have a very above average talent on the offensive side of the ball. We have above average talent, and in some spots, excellent talent.
Yeah.
AJ Brown is a top 5 receiver. Dante is even a top 20 receiver.
Top 10.
We have the top running back in the league. We have the best offensive line in the league. We have a top 10 tight end, a top 10 quarterback. And with that amount of talent, they're not playing up to their potential. And I don't know what it is. I don't think it's their ability. They're the same team and the same players that were ranked where they were in the top 100, right? They are the same players. Nobody's had a drop-off. They're young, right? So you have to look at other aspects to why this offense is not doing what we think that it could do and not performing up to the potential that we think that they have. And that is the play caller. I'm sorry. I saw a graphic on social media this week outlining the plays and how predictable we have been in certain situations. We are, if we line up in a certain formation, it is telegraphing what we're going to do next. They said out of shotgun, we pass all the time. If we're in shotgun, we pass him all the time. If he's under center, those plays are 90-something%. It's going to be a run. If he's under center.
He had one play under center that was a play action. One play since the season. But again, DarkKnight, that goes back to the saying that it's the second game of the season. Remember last year, we was after the first 4 games and they went to the bye week. We was looking at this team like, where's the heart? Why y'all playing with no heart? And next thing you know, 10 wins in the Super Bowl later, we understand that this team, it takes some time for them to get started. It takes some time for this offense to get on track. It takes some time for some of these athletes to get into the optimal shape that they normally be in the middle of the season. We don't realize that AJ Brown didn't have a training camp. He was injured most of the training camp with a hamstring. Devontae Smith was injured on and off during the training camp. Shoot.
I don't want to hear that.
Landon Dickinson didn't even have it. He messes me up. He's holding our breath for Landon Dickinson. So, listen, we still got, we got a tough team coming up, but I still think these guys are getting back into football shape. And I'm looking forward to seeing some other things, hopefully, because we're going to have to show some other things. We can't be that predictable, DarkKnight.
Predictable, elementary plays. We can't do any of that. We're an NFL football team. We cannot be projecting what we're going to run. That is, that's football 101. Little league football coaches try to outsmart the other team. They try to be unpredictable. We cannot be predictable as the Super Bowl champs playing on an NFL level. We cannot have receivers running routes and winding up on the same level. You know what I'm talking about. They're winding up. You can't run routes where the receivers are in the same vicinity at the end of the route. What the hell's going on here? We can't do this. This has to be, and I tell you, and I'm going to stick by it, it just reeks of Sirianni having too much say in the play call. Every time I suspect that that's what's happening, this offense looks like it looks. Every time.
I hear you. I hear you.
The first year he came out and he was the play caller. It looked like this. The second time it looked like this was when Brian Johnson was the OC. And in hindsight, Brian Johnson did utter the fact that Sirianni had some influence on the play calling. So that's instance number 2. And now this is the third time that this offense is looking very bland to me. And I just can't help but think that Sirianni has too much say in the offensive scheme and what's being run. Please keep your hands off of it. I think it's
all true. I think it's all true. I think it's all Kevin. I think it's right now that it is, again, it's getting everybody into football shape. And they're going to do vanilla plays. I mean, that's how good they are. That's how good our Philadelphia Eagles is. We can run vanilla plays, don't do nothing. We can have Chris Jones yell at us and say, "You didn't get 100 yards." We won the damn game, right? We won the damn game. That's all that matters. Win the damn game.
That's all that matters. You're right. Let me go to the comments here, guys. I'm sorry. Let me bring our third co-host to the show, into the conversation. That's you guys that are in the chat room. We thank you guys so much for showing up and contributing to the show. And the first person in the room tonight was Jeremiah. He says, "What's up, fam?" Second one was JT. JT's in the house. He says, "I'm happy. Go Birds. What's good, fam?" And Mr. Jones is the third person in the room tonight. He says, "Virginia is in the house. Go Birds." That's right. Tremont is in the house. He says, "What's up, Eagles fan? What's up?" And John Batiste from South Kakalaka, South Carolina Bird Gang checking in. We eating curry ram goat Sunday. I like it. I like it. Deborah is "Let's go Birds," no doubt. So let me get to some of these comments down here as we've been talking. Signing Zacharias Smith might be the signing of the season. Oh yeah, he was outstanding. Outstanding. Rachel says they've gone back to Mrs. Dash seasoning for the chicken. Yes, they have. Eddie's in the house, my favorite Republican. Eagles struggled for 6 weeks on offense last year. Y'all sound the alarm in week 2. Give it a month. I'm with that. I'm not in panic mode. Don't get me wrong. I am emotional. I mean, well, that's just who I am. I'm Dark Knight. I'm going to be I'm going to be a little animated in talking about it. But my animation or my energy is not. Don't confuse that with my level of panic. I'm not in panic mode. I'm not there. I'm just concerned and I'm loud about it. That's all it is. But I'm not in panic mode. Since everyone crying about our little offsides, do you think the tush push will be back? It's going to face.
I think this is going to be last year for it.
Yeah,
and
let's
just answer that real quick. I think there's going to be last year for it, and since it may be last year for it, run it every freaking 3rd and 1. Every 1 yard, just run it. I don't care. Let them bat in the next year. This year, just run it to the ground.
Yeah. Jeremiah agrees with me. He said it looks like Tecmo Bowl play calling. It does. We had this discussion last year. It is week 2. Eddie, I get it. It is week 2, and I'm happy because because I get it. Yeah, all caps too. Don't you be yelling at me, Eddie. I get it. It is week 2, and the good thing about this is that we're following the same seemingly path that we started last year, where the first 4 weeks were extended preseason. And it took us some time to get in the flow, and we eventually got there. And this is even better because, as we can see, we're not in the flow yet. But unlike last year, we're undefeated. We don't have a loss in the first 2 weeks like we did last year. We were 1-1, and after 4 games, 2-2. We're not in that position as of yet. It remains to be seen. We got to play the Rams this weekend, but we're in a better position. I admit that we're a better position. We're undefeated as we're working out these kinks, as we're getting in football shape. Everybody, because you talked about, Pat, you just talked about the offensive players not getting a lot of training camp time together because of little ailments that they have. So they're working their way into shape. But guess who else is working their way into shape? And that's the OC. He's working his way into football shape too. And he's got to get his legs under him too. So hopefully, they'll settle it down and they will get a little more creative and it'll look a little better than it looks now. Now, don't get me wrong. If we win every game, all including the Super Bowl, by the score of 20-17, I will be a happy camper.
Listen, I'll take it.
The concern is that I don't know if we can sustain this type of game plan for as long a season that we have. And knowing that we are going up against defensive coordinators who are paid millions of dollars to solve what we're doing. And Spags damn near almost had it. He almost had it. His philosophy, he continued with the focus on stopping Saquon Barkley, and he mixed in the blitzing aspect. He gave a heavy dose of blitzing, and I think that to him that was the ingredient that was missing in the Super Bowl. He said, "Let me send. I want Jalen to beat me, but let me make it a little tougher for him to beat me. Let me turn up the heat in the kitchen," and he did so, and blitzed on over 60% of Jalen's dropbacks. That's a lot. And that brings me to my second point. While if we know that the blitz we're going to be blitz heavily, why don't we have packages for that?
Again, this is it's early. It's early. You see things, you make adjustments, and again, we go back to Kevin. Kevin, this is his first year being an offensive coordinator. I don't know if this is the first time ever being an offensive coordinator before, Kevin Pachulo. But this is the first time in game with this team. And again, we're putting too much onto the offensive coordinator at this particular time. He's going to make his bad decisions. He's going to make his bad calls. But I think Jalen is smart enough. He's been in the system long enough to understand that, you know what, some of these calls won't work, and he has to go ahead and change the play at the line of scrimmage. That's what he did last year. Remember, he started all over more, changing the play call and being more accountable at the line of scrimmage than he was in 2023. So I mean, I'm putting more on Jalen Hurts right now than I am on Kevin. After the first game, if this offense just blah, then yeah, I'm putting it all on Kevin.
All right, let's end this quarter here. Talking too much. All right, so
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk. We are the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. Right now, we having a bitching section over a W. That's crazy. But we're having a business section over a 2-0 record. But I am partaking in the Celsius Peach Vibe energy drink. Pat is drinking the Woodford Reserve. Let me know what you're drinking out there, and let's continue this conversation. So to our 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch.
3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, let's talk. All right, so we always
positive. Where's the positive?
Let's talk about the positive. Let's drop a little bit of that in there.
All right, I'm gonna do
the positive things.
I'm gonna start you off with the positive things because you need to hear this. All right, so shout out to Howie Roseman, right? He's literally been cooking the past 2 years. Last year it was Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. This year is Jahad Campbell and Makuba. Like, I lied to you not. They have the ability to probably be the next Ray Lewis, Ed Reed type players. I'm not saying they are those players, but the way Makuba is in getting to the ball, making plays, speed to tackle, with the way Jahad Campbell is only a rookie, and he was leading the team in he led the team in tackles this game. Well, he's second to Cooper DeJean. Like, listen, the thing about it is these are only rookies and first-year players. We have the 5th youngest team. We only have the 5th now because we added Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith, I'm sorry. But besides that, we have the 5th youngest team in the NFL. It's only room for these kids to get much better. Makuba said, listen, once I get more comfortable with the game, it's going to be scary how good I think I'm going to be. He's working to be one of the better safeties in the league. And if that is scary to say at his second game in the NFL, let's imagine how it is with game 10.
I like that. Thank you for that dose of positivity. I needed that. But I absolutely agree with you. If you look back at Howie's first 2 picks in the last 5 to 6 drafts, he has hit on all of them except for the year when it was Rager. That year,
we give him ball again for that one.
That year, I think it was Rager and Jalen, right? Rager and Jalen. Rager was the first round pick and Jalen was the second. So he hit on Jalen. He whiffed on Rager. But if you go back, every draft after that, the first 2 picks have been outstanding. And they've all been contributors and probably starters. I think they're all starting now. So he's done an excellent job in keeping this roster talent at a high level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that bodes well for us. another thing, Jahad Campbell, again, I agree. He's all over the place. It's like we have two Zach Bonds out there now, and that's incredible. Incredible. His athleticism, his move, he just moves fast. He's very athletic, moves fast, hits everything in front of him. Makuba, same way, stick his head in there, and he's a ball hawk. Always seems to find himself with the turnover or near the ball, and that's great too. I get that. I'm not in agreement with the players being so out of shape. That part I'm not. I just need to see more out of this offense, and I give them time. I will. We got a big test this week. We do. We really do have a big test. Speaking to the point, all right, this is what I want to speak to the point of Jalen and his play and not taking chances with the ball. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. I'm okay with him locking in on not turning the ball over. I think I talked about in the post game on Sunday. They are Sirianni, that is, and Jalen seem to be locked in on the business aspect of playing football. And I don't mean, Madison Avenue business aspect. I'm talking about the business on the field. The business on the field is to win the game.
Correct.
Taking care of the business on the field is to win the game. And they seem to be lockstep on the philosophy of we're going to do whatever it takes to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
We're not into how it looks, how pretty it looks, or how mundane it looks. We are just handling the business of getting dubs. And they do an excellent job. That part I can't take away. So this is a positive. The part I can take away with them, is, as much as I have complaints about this offense being vanilla right now, is that Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni win ball games. They have learned to do that, and they have learned to do that at a high clip. Jalen hasn't lost a game, and they said he's 16-0 in his last 16 starts, where he started the game 16-0. And we are, up here.
Start and finish, yes.
Start and finish, yes. 16-0 in his last 16 games. Start and finish. Why aren't we praising that more? Right? We need to be praising that more. Nick Sirianni is just the winningest percentage-wise coach in Eagles history, right? Why aren't we celebrating that? And not only that, these two have just come off of a Super Bowl win some months ago. So that is the positive. I get that part of it. I just want them to continue this incredible run that they have.
Yes,
and
keeping them.
And I just think that the best path to that is to have better offensive output. We need better offensive output.
I definitely agree with you, DarkKnight, but at the same time, I mean, you look at a quarterback whose winning percentage is 79%. He's higher than Pat Mahomes since he's been a starter. Right, he has won 42 more games than Pat Mahomes have. At the same time, he's been a starter. Then you got to look at the defense. The defensive guys, and you talked about the draft, right? Jordan Davis. By losing weight and devoting himself, I'm so happy Eddie put that up there. By losing weight and devoting himself to be a better version of himself has helped this team dramatically this season. Listen, he might not play 80 snaps out of the, I think, 60 snaps. Let me go back to it. And I want to make sure I have the accurate numbers here. So out of the 60 total snaps that the Chief had, he played 32 snaps, which is 53%.
And that was only because he was having trouble with his, dehydration.
It was 90 degrees out there in KC.
Had that not happened, he would have played significantly more snaps than that.
Correct.
And he did the game before that. But go ahead, continue.
But you know what? Going back to what you were talking about, the draft picks and how we hitting on these draft picks and these guys beginning starters. Just listen to this. I'm just going back. I'm not going back to the Jalen Reagor pick. I'm going back to 2001. Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson.
2001.
2021. 2021.
Okay. I was like 2001. You're going way too far.
Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenneth Gainwell.
Now go year by year. So 2021 it was
Devontae
Smith and Landon
Dickerson. Starters. dogs. Milton Williams, I mean, he got the bag this year.
What year is that?
That's 2021.
Oh, that's all it's in.
You know,
No, just just do the first 2 picks of these drafts because I'm
all
telling
right.
you,
So
the first 2 picks.
2022. Well, I got to do this one. 2022 because you got 3 picks. Jordan Davis, starter, dog. Cam Jurgens, starter, dog.
Mm-hmm.
N'Kobe Dean, when healthy, he's going to start. I love Jahad
Nah,
Campbell, but
he ain't getting nah.
they gonna put it in the plan because I don't think you realize Dark Knight that defense last year when he was playing when him and Bond was playing and feeding off each other, that rotation was good. So it's good to have 3 good linebackers because you can go you can go a 4-3 front now. You can do that now. But anyway, I digress. Let me go
All
back
right.
to the picks.
All right.
2023, you had I gotta do 3 picks. Well, I gotta do all the picks. I'm sorry. Because they Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, starters, Tyler Sting, starter, Sidney Brown, the backup special teams, Keely Bringle, backup special teams, Tanner McKee, who
You're going too
everybody
far.
wants.
You're going too
I
far.
know, but the
I'm
last
trying
one
to
is
give him credit.
Moro
The first
Jomo.
2 picks
All right, 2024.
go.
2024. Q Mitchell, Cooper DeJohn. This year, Jahad Campbell, Andrew McCuba.
Now
Like,
think about every year that you just named, excluding every pick after the first 2 picks. Every year you just named are starters.
starters.
So our first 2 picks in the last 4 to 5 draft are starting for this team, not bust. They're starting and they're contributors. That's incredible. That's an incredible track record right there. And if you guys, I give Jordan Davis his props. I gave it to him pre-game this week. I gave it to him post-game this week. He's had 2 weeks of stellar play. And, my hope is that this is the Jordan Davis we're going to see for the duration of his career, especially with the Eagles. I'm hoping that this is the Jordan Davis we're going to get. Can you just imagine? And we saw it this week, but him playing at that level next to Jalen Carter playing at his normal level is incredible. Our interior defense is monstrous. It's monstrous. So I give all the credit in the world to Jordan Davis and committing himself to being in the best shape of his life. And like you said, being the best version of himself. And it's paying dividends already. 2 batted balls. They were key plays in the game. So he is contributing mightily to this early season run. And one of the reasons why this defense is ahead of schedule in my eyes. Now, I would push back a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Jahad Campbell is playing out of his mind for a rookie.
Yes.
I mean, we got to look at this. He's a rookie. We didn't get this type of production from N'Kobe Dean until his 3rd year. Let's be real. I mean, injuries played a part in all that, but we didn't get this type of production out of N'Kobe until his 3rd year, and Jahad is turning in this type of performance in his rookie year. Yeah. I think it's going to be hard for N'Kobe to unseat Jahad totally. I mean, to the point where he's starting and Jahad's just coming off the bench. I think it's going to be a tough decision for Vic to make. I really do, and that's a good problem to have. Let me go to some comments here. Bill Crow, hey, that's good to see you in the chat room. If we don't get the passing game going, we will need a library on the side. All right. How he's doing his job. Dean, become a rotation player. That's where I'm thinking. Eddie, you chime in on that. I want to hear your opinion about what happens to Dean when he comes back. Pat still not thanking the one person that made the Howie we see today.
Can't
the most beloved person in the franchise. Oh, we don't say that name on here. But I get it, though, Eddie. Yeah, without him.
That is true, though.
Yeah, Howie is not the person he is. Without, people look at certain situations. They look at the process or situations and they label them negative or positive. But sometimes it's all part of the process. You have to go through those down times to get to your goal that you're getting to. The gold and the worth is in the process. It's not getting to the destination. It's going through the process to turn you into the person that you need to be to get to that goal. So Howie needed to be put in the back room for him to come out with the fire and do the work that he had to do to become the person he is today. So we do thank that guy, but I'm not going to say his name. We do thank him for his brief stay here. It was for a reason when we look at it in hindsight.
Listen, man, I'm just a happy camper because it's crazy that this team is winning right now, and we're not passing close to anything that we normally would do, right? Jalen doesn't have a touchdown passing the ball, but you know what? This offense, this defense, this team is playing lights out football right now. It's playing lights out football right now, and regardless of how we want to see it, I don't want them to see him throw for 450 yards and lose a game. I'd rather see my quarterback throw for 150 yards, 200 yards, be efficient, no turnovers, and we win the game, than throw for 450 yards every week. That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatever. You could be a gunslinger, yes. You know the gunslingers, Brett Favre. You just mentioned Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, right? All these quarterbacks has the same amount of Super Bowl trophies as Jalen Hurts.
Yep, and Jalen's only in his 5th year, and if he plays his cards right, we can have more than those two legendary future. Well, Brett Favre's already a Hall of Famer, and Aaron Rodgers will be one soon. I get it, and let's not. You know what? I think it is. The problem is, well, I'm not going to speak for everybody. Let me speak for myself. Maybe it is the fact that we've seen these players, this basically the same collection of offensive players, be explosive. And I'm talking about the year 2023 when we went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs. That was an offense that year that I think I still kind of see ghosts when it comes to looking at it. I mean, I see ghosts because I see this unit and I remember that time back there, and I'm like, these are the same people. Why can't they do what they did back then? And I understand. And to your point, I'd rather have this team because that team didn't win the Super Bowl. And why? Because one turnover by Jalen Hurts was a big turnover, and now he doesn't do that. So I kind of appreciate more the version of Jalen that doesn't turn the ball over and is a little bit more conscious. But, do I long for those days where, that was a magical year, man. I mean, the way we just jumped out on people and then we jumped out so quick on people, and then we just ran the ball in the second half.
Yeah,
because we would have the lead, so we would have the lead, and we would just milk the clock in the second half. Now those are the days that I long to see again, and they left, I believe, when Shane Steichen left. They left when Shane Steichen left, and now we have, we have a different philosophy of offense, and it has to get a little bit better if we want to return to the Super Bowl. We're going to find out. Guess what? I'll tell you this. Let's end the quarter. I'll start the next quarter off with that. We'll end the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. You're listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans and for us Eagles fans. Nobody else, just for us. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles, the world champion, Super Bowl 59 champion Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite beverage in the form of shots. I am in the Celsius Peach Vibe, which means I'm going to be up. I'm probably going to.
Yes, you are.
Way too late for me to be 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness! All right. Anyway, Pat is doing what we serve. You guys,
the gym.
Yeah, I probably could do a late night gym now and burn some of this off. All right. So, to our Philadelphia Eagles, everybody raise our glass. 2-0. 2-0. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right. So I started to say, we're going to find out a lot about this team come Sunday. This is going to tell us a lot. It's not going to tell us that we're not going anywhere, right? No, this is a long season. It's too early to tell us that. It's not. But it's going to give us a glimpse into whether we can continue to go down this path of anemic offensive output and win games, or if there definitely needs to be an uptick in our offensive production. This team, the best way for the best path for teams to beat us is a shootout. They got to put up points, right? Because we have a tough, stout defense. But that's our kryptonite as it stands today. I mean, if we're just judging this team off the first 2 weeks, we can ill afford to get in a shootout type of situation with a team because we're not playing with a lot of bullets in our gun right now. I'm just being serious. I'm talking about we don't have a lot of bullets. I mean, we have them on paper, but we haven't fired any bullets in these first 2 games. So we can not get in a shootout. And this is a team that can do that. This is a team that is built to put points on the board, right? I think we're built for that.
We're built. We're built for that. Listen, the Dark Knight. You talk about the bullets and the gun. This offense, less Mekhi Becton. We replaced Mekhi Becton with Tyler Steen. Put 55 on the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game. Last year, they put 40 on this same Chiefs team. Last year, they made the Rams gasp for air in both games. Like, they have the ability. This team has the ability. Less the offensive coordinator. And I understand we have that Brian Johnson feel with this offensive coordinator, but this is still the same core guys. This is still the same core team.
All right.
I mean, I think it's a switch. Again, it goes back to conditioning. When we don't play football, right? You can't just go on the field and go all out. It's not going to happen. You got to really ease yourself into this sport and be very conscious of getting back into that playing game shape, that deep ball shape. And I'm not seeing it from AJ. I'm not really seeing it from Devontae. I'm seeing it from
you can't
Devontae.
see it. How you going to see it if they don't throw on the damn ball? How you going to see it?
It's the routes. The routes are trash. Okay, you want me to talk about it? You want me to talk about this? All right, the routes. The offensive coordinator's routes for the last 2 games have been garbage. All right, garbage.
Don't put that on AJ.
If
he's running the route they told him to run.
If you're getting blitzed at a 60% clip, you should be having your receivers running underneath, crossing routes or short routes, shortening their routes out so they can get the ball quickly out of the quarterback's hand. Or, you know what defeats a blitz? A screen at the blitz.
Preach.
All right, I'm trying to be nice about the situation and get these players back into. Because you know what, I did that. I can't go into a football game right now. I gotta work myself back into shape and stretch and give me 10 weeks and maybe I can play one down. Right? These are apex athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
These apex athletes, they want their bodies to be at the most optimal condition there is. And right now, I don't see it from these athletes. I don't see the explosiveness Saquon Barkley, because he is still Saquon Barkley. I saw some plays last week where if you read it a little bit differently, he would be having over 150 yards. But
yeah, we
will get there.
All right. I did that again. This is going to tell a lot. This week is for real. I mean, it's not a make or break season game or anything like that, but it's just going to tell us some things. And to go back to a point you made earlier about, this time last year we were questioning the team's heart. That's not in question. I'm not questioning the team's heart at this point. The team is 2-0 and they are competing. So this does not resemble last year's team in that aspect of heart. This team is playing with a lot of heart. I just don't think that they're given a lot to work with on the offensive side of the ball. Defense, you definitely see all the heart. I love our defense. Our defense is me back to the 90s defense, that nasty defense, the early 2000s where we were physical. We are knocking snot bubbles out of people's nose in these games here. When they play us now, we're known as, you know what? I remember the year when the 49ers just took our hearts.
Yeah.
That year, we snatched our hearts out of our chest, and they were walking around, and the adjective that was used for our defense was soft. Those days are long gone. Those days are forgotten. This team is not that anymore. I don't think anybody around the league will ever utter soft when they talk about this Eagles defense. We fly around, we are physical, and we are nasty. And for a young squad, that's a great attribute to have. A young team like that, great attribute. And led by one of the nastiest players in the league, Jalen Carter. Because
he's out of shape. He's out of shape. He's a nasty player, but he out of shape. His coach said, "He said, yo, I don't know what you're doing. You out of shape."
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. We got to go. Well, all right. Well, then that's even encouraging. If Jalen Carter is out of shape and he's still affecting the game like that, imagine when he gets in shape, what it's going to look like.
Oh,
Look, come on, man. If we could have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, in tip-top shape at the same time, that's going to be a scary thing. But again, we're going to learn a lot about this team on Sunday. We face the Rams. The Rams have seemingly improved. Devontae Adams and him.
Listen, I got a plan for that. Listen,
right.
Vic, if you're watching this, all right, this is what you need to do. Put Q on Devontae Adams. Put Cooper on Puka Nacua, right? And have Adoree, I'm not going to say kick rocks, but have him play the slot or mix it up with Jacorian Bennett. Have them play the slot. I know you need Cooper at the slot because he's like another linebacker out there. But this game, you got two receivers that are dynamic. And if you have Adoree playing on one of these receivers, as if I'm Matthew Stafford, that's the person I'm going towards.
Every time. Yes. And that's why I'm telling you, it's going to be a telling game, and not just on offense. I mean, I'm not just talking about our offense. I'm also talking about this defense facing this is probably the best offense we've faced this year.
It's going to be the best offense we're going to face.
This is the best offense that we faced this year. So we're going to find out a lot. We saw what Dallas was able to do in one half of football until Vic made the necessary adjustments that he had to make. And now we're going to see the best, not the best quarterback, because Pat Mahomes was probably the best quarterback we faced, but we're going to see the second best quarterback we faced and the best offense as a unit that we faced this year, and a defense that is formidable also. So this is going to be a great test for this team. Get your popcorn ready, because we're going to learn something about our team this week, and I hope it's something good. But here's Eddie's comment up on the screen. Here's a question regarding Dante's favorite topic: the offense. Does Patullo open the playbook and use Barkley in the passing, and I don't know, maybe some mid-passing routes like that?
Texas route.
I wish.
You call it a Texas route. A little out.
I don't care what the hell you call it. He need to use it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's a great point, Eddie. Will he do that? Or how about this? Screens. How about that? Screens to do the same job. But I'm picking up what you're putting down, Eddie. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. Pat, answer that. What do you think?
So yeah, he has been involved in the past game. Shoot, last week he caught about 2 passes. He was targeted 3 times. He will throw Saquon the ball. Shoot, even AJ Dillon got a pass last week in a flat. But this week it's going to be something different because you're going against a formidable defense. So last week, let me just say this for you, DarkKnight. Last week, without that deep 49-yard pass, which actually everybody see Q try to make up for him and say he got burnt. It was a cover 3 in the deep safety, which was Reed Blankenship. He saw underneath route in front of him, and he bit on that underneath route and Taquan. Yeah. And so all Q could do is try to get back up to the receiver, which he did a great job
damn near broke it up.
Damn near broke the pass up. Yeah. So without that 49-yard pass, Pat Mahomes only threw for 130 yards, maybe less than that. because and he's on par with Jalen Hurts as far as the pass wise. That's how good the doggone defense was. I know this game is about to start, but to that question, this offense needs to be opened up because you got a defensive front that features the defensive player of the year, rookie defensive player of the year last year in the fifth, right? He's a monster. Jared Verse is a monster. Kobe Turner is a sack machine. Brayton Fisk is a monster. Their defensive front are nothing but monsters.
And
dogs.
young monsters too.
Yes, that defensive front there is going to get after it. But we got to come out there and show them no mercy. Show them no mercy.
Tony says, has the Rams run D improved since last season? I think they have a little bit. And
no.
And look at this. If they haven't, everybody's improved in the fact that this is a copycat league. So you know, a lot of people we beat them by overpowering them, of course, and them not catching up to what we were doing, which wasn't really fancy. I mean, we just ran the ball, but now there's an added focus. The second time around, it's almost like a starting pitcher when he goes through the third time around. Yeah. But it's like a starting pitcher when he goes through the lineup the first time. Batters are like learning them. He might get a lot of outs. That second and third time around that lineup, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
Yeah.
So expect it to be a little different than what we saw last year. They weren't able to stop the run at all, but I just foresee that there's going to be a more concentrated effort in stopping Saquon this week, which means that there are going to be some passing lanes open if they do that, right? If they sell out, we're probably going to have some passing lanes. So
you're 100% right. Their defensive backs, Achilles Witherspoon, one of their best defensive backs, he's out this game. I believe he's out this game. And now you're left with some guys, Emmanuel Forbes, who AJ Brown owns. Remember, he was the cornerback for the Commanders where he got lost by A.J. Brown. You got another corner in Kobe Bryant, who actually just got cut. Josh Wallace. So you don't really have these guys like, Trent McDuffie, Trent McDuffie is considered one of the better safety cornerbacks in National Football League, right? He's one of the best quarterbacks, top 5 in the league. Right now, you don't have that on the back end. You have the Rams defensive 4 who's strong, and the secondary and linebackers that are not strong. But we can't get this game up to that defensive front. We can't. This question right
here. We're going to answer that. I want to get four quarters in. I know the last quarter is going to go by 5 minutes, but I want to get 4 quarters in. Let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagle fans. No one else is allowed. I mean, they do come in sometime. You can come in if you want, but, I can't be responsible for the massacre that's going to take place in the chat room if you do decide to come into this Eagles chat room. But we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And if you're an adult and you're drinking a beverage, it's an adult beverage. So I am doing my adult beverage of Celsius, the energy drink. And Pat, I'm going to be up all night. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. Let me know what you're doing out there. And let's salute our Philadelphia Eagles, 2-0 this year. No need for panic. All right, down the hat. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, so we're going to open the fourth quarter by addressing this comment that Eddie put up there. Great comment. All right. Let me ask y'all. Eddie writes, all right, let me ask y'all this. Given the level of development of players, is Fangio surpassing Jim Johnson as defensive coordinator? Woo, what a hell of a woo.
Before you answer that, DarkKnight, get your thought together. Because I want to throw something in there. Because you got to remember, Jim Johnson did have a young core of players. Brian Dawkins was only in his 5th or 6th year. Jeremiah Trotter was only in his 2nd or 3rd year. Troy Vincent and Bobby Tiller, they were brand spanking new out the box. So he had some talent on that team.
But I don't think he had this level of talent. And it's a hard thing to say because he did have talented defenses. But when I'm looking at it and you just, brought it to my attention, that you look at the talent of those teams versus the talent of this defense now. Oh, it's tough. I don't. These young Thundercats are, and they're early in their career, and he has them playing at a high level. We talking about 2 rookies playing at a high level already. We're talking about 2 second-year players playing at a high level. Played at a high level last year, but continuing that, he has some very good young talent on this team. And then I think, well, what would Jim do with this type of talent? Woo! Oh my goodness! What would Jim do with this type of talent? You talk about blitz happy.
I think what you say is great. What you just said is awesome. This game we only blitzed Pat Mahomes 11 times, and he was 3 for like 11 for negative yards and 1 interception. That's only 23% clip that we blitzed them on the 60 plays that they had. Jim Johnson will blitz this guy out of 60 plays, 50 plays. I spit this saying that. I feel like Jim Johnson was saying that. I was blitzed 50 times. And his blitz was unique because the way he ran his defense, if you ever heard the term, he ran the defense through Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins was the catalyst of the defense, and he was like for anybody that played chess, the king, queen, the rook, the bishop. He was the queen on the board. He could put him anywhere and have him do anything, and he did it well above greatness. And with this team, we don't have that piece yet. Zach Bond is that piece, right? He's a linebacker. Andrew Makuba is getting there. Mark my words. That young Thundercat that you just said, Andrew Makuba is going to be a very good, barring any injuries, going to be a very good safety for the next good safety for our Philadelphia Eagles. Because every generation we have a good safety. Andre Waters, Brian Dawkins, Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah, true.
We always have a good safety. Even CJGJ was a good safety for us last year. Relationship in that partnership that they had, and I think this year Andrew Makuba is going to take that mantle, and we're going to farther down. We're going to say, "Oh crap, this rookie is not a rookie. He's not playing like a rookie. He's playing like what we needed at that particular time." Our only issue right now, because Jim Jones always had 2 good corners. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. He always had 3 good corners. I mean, Al Harris.
Yeah.
We don't have that second good corner no more. We have Cooper. We have Q. We don't have a third corner because we got rid of Slay. But when we had those 3 corners, Pat, talkers and Queen. Listen, no, I'm talking about chess.
I know. We got it.
But last year we had that team. That was the best defense in Philadelphia. Well, the second best defense in Philadelphia Eagles history, because the first defense, they were number
92,
1. Yeah, they had them number 1 across the board. We didn't get that yet.
No, we didn't get that yet. And so the short answer, I think he needs more we need more of a sample to make that determination. But that's a great comment. Awesome. Jim was here for some years and did it over some years, so he had that. And to compare just one year and 2 games to the great Jim Johnson, it's not fair to Jim. Now, don't get me wrong, Vic Fangio has been in the league a long time and he's had success all around the league. But if we're going to compare him to Jim Johnson, placing him in the Eagles' history, then he needs bigger sample size and to prove it over a more extended time than what he has.
Yes,
but he's a great defensive coordinator.
You know what?
It's in him I trust. It's in him that I turn my concern to the offense in the offseason and not to the defense, who was replacing so many departed players.
Yes.
The defense lost the most amount of players during the offseason, but that wasn't my concern. My concern was the offense. I just have the utmost confidence in what Vic does with his defense that I just trust him, and I knew that he would get them back to playing a high level. I never thought that it would be 2 games into the season that they will be playing like they are, but he does not. I just trust, and Vic I trust. And Vic has had a gigantic voice in this organization thus far. If we think about it, the last 2 years, our first 4 picks have been defensive players, haven't they?
Yeah.
Am I missing something? They've been
So
defensive players, and they are starters.
so I gotta say this, Dark Knight. I really believe that Jacorian Bennett, um, who we had an opportunity to draft. We drafted Keely Rangel, I think it was Keely Rangel in front of Jacorian Bennett. So we actually got a corner that we was looking to get in that 20 what draft was that? 2023 draft, right? I think what was happening right now, I think Vic is slow playing his hand.
I
He's
think
trying
so
to
too.
get Jacorian Bennett up to speed because he
Yep.
tends to do this. Remember he did it last year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or playing Maddox in his slot, knowing doggone well that Cooper, once he was healthy, will take the over that spot. And what happened with that defense? It
It
became a
went to the
great
next level.
defense. It became a
Yep.
great defense. I'm thinking the same thing because we got Jacorian so late in the preseason. He's not up to speed on our defensive philosophy yet. He's still in his mindset playing that Raiders defense and not really realizing that this is not the Raiders defense. This is a better defense. Therefore, you have to think differently, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
defense, if you look at it, and Zach said it perfectly. This is a defense where you have to be thinking at every single ounce. Like when you're thinking, then you can react better, right? We always say football is 80% mental, 90% physical, right? We always throw
Right.
some weird numbers out there, but it literally is. Once you get the mental aspect down, then you can react better than you ever can. Because the first week when we played the Dallas Cowturds, right? They played a cover 2 Tampa 2 zone. And Jahad Campbell's responsibility was a deep middle between the safeties. Not only did he get there to deflect the pass, his speed got him to the middle of the field to make the play. Because if he doesn't get there, he doesn't make that play. That's called being really in tune mentally to what the philosophy is and what the defense is teaching you. All right.
Let me help you out. So, the
I've been
mental
drinking.
part of it,
It's
right? The
big.
mental part of it is, and which, what's his name? Jadarius?
Jadarian
Jadarian Bennett
Yep.
needs more mental reps so
Correct.
that when he gets out there, he doesn't have to think. You want to get so many reps in that it is just second nature. You just
Yes.
react. And he has not gotten to that point yet because he's so new to the team, which makes what Jahad Campbell is doing even more impressive because this young man has that. He has enough reps where he is responding instinctively and he's not doing a lot of thinking. That gets you on the field a lot quicker. When you have gotten down your responsibilities and what the coach is looking for you to do, the game slows down for you.
It does.
Game slows down for you, and you could just play off of your instinct, your natural ability. And that's what Jahad's doing now. So when Jadarian Bennett gets to that level, I'm sure that Vic is going to throw him into the fray. But you've got to get to the level. That's what practice is all about. Practice is all about doing it enough times that muscle memory takes over and you're not even thinking about it. You're making moves on the court like me. You're making moves on the court where you don't even think about it. And at the end, they're like, yo, but that's how I'm just using me, but the same thing. Same drill for football players, same drill for baseball players, same drill for athletes, period. So as soon as this game slows down for Jadarian, he understands his responsibility and how Vic wants him to play and where he wants him to be and be responsible for. I think we'll see him in the game. But with that being said, we're going to wrap it up because Thursday night game is on. I know you guys want to go watch it. That's why the numbers are dwindling right now. So we're going to let you guys go and watch the game tonight. And we will reconvene on Sunday. What time is that game on Sunday? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Right?
We here. Yeah, we here.
All right. So 1 o'clock, we will see you guys an hour. We're going to all reconvene here an hour before kickoff. So 12 o'clock, tune in for Eagles Talk pregame, and we'll get ready for the Rams together. Bring your favorite adult beverage, bring your game day food, and let's have a great time. So until then, I'm your man, DarkKnight, for my co-host, Pat, and Nichelle in her absence. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Enjoy the game tonight. Peace.
Go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool.